Good evening. My name is Lux, and welcome to my temple. I wanted to make a series on magic. This has been a long time coming, and I've conceived of it in many different ways, and my conception of it is still shifting, but I don't want this to be just tutorials on magic, or where I don't claim to be an expert. There are things I'm still figuring out. I've been doing this for 5 years. It takes a lot longer than that. And I haven't been on my game the whole time either. I can be impulsive, reckless. I tend to bend the rules, and I prefer to do things my own way. We're all on our own path, and I have this philosophy of flexibility of belief. Is that you can't say that one thing is another. You can't point anything and say this is that. All you're saying is we can model this the thing that we're talking about by we can model it as this other thing. We can model A as B. There's a concept Robert Anton Wilson talks about a lot, and it's basically any beliefs that we have, they aren't strictly true or false. All truths are about half truths. We shouldn't be evaluating what we believe based on whether we believe it's true or not, but what kind of result is produced by us believing in that. Where is this belief going to get us? Just looking at the lives of the people who have these beliefs, what are they doing in the world? Where's that energy going? What is that experience? What's that reality tunnel you're creating with that set of beliefs and programs in your mind? Which, in that sense, people will tell me, oh, you're supposed to be given a deck of tarot cards. I'm like, I intend to train with the tarot. I have this deck in mind because I want to, I have a plan. This is the way that I want to do it. And sometimes you gotta take things into your own hands. If there is a belief that's obstructing you, you need to investigate it and change it. But all this is a bit of a tangent. The idea is, I don't do things perfectly. Far from it. And I don't know, I don't think I could be considered an expert, and I would take everything I say with a grain of salt and do your own research. There will be plenty of people who are real teachers who would watch one of my videos and say there is some room to grow in these areas. I'm on a path. I haven't reached a destination, and I think for both for my own growth and both for creating positive change in the world and helping others to better themselves, just sharing that journey, sharing that experience, and sharing what I'm learning along the way is the most powerful thing that I can do. Versus this is how you do it. And I think there's a component of that too, because when you start talking to people about this stuff, they don't know what it is, and they don't know how to do it. Or even when you do know how to do it, over time memories get fuzzy. There are so many things, there's so many spells in my spell book, right, that I'd have to relearn. If I reread it, I would discover things about it that I would have forgotten. So I think an active component of it could be really valuable, but I think of it more as a realm of experimentation rather than this is your homework, go do your assignment. Can you pass the magic test? I guess that's still a valid question. I'm just not the one that's going to be grading your papers, if you know what I mean. I'm just, you know, I'm just here, man. I don't know if my pants are in the shop. They're completely ridiculous. The rest of my outfit is like, I actually like dressed up and then I just left my pants on. Like my PJ bottoms. Why are we here? What are we doing? We're talking about magic and we're documenting our journey. My journey is Lux, which, you know, if you're watching this video, this is your journey too. It's all part of the human experience. And my intention is to cultivate a culture where we all acknowledge and support each other on these journeys, and that we see each other for the beautiful, divine humans that we all are, the expression of life. And but yeah, if we can create a world where you see me over here doing my thing and you're like, yeah, I see you over there doing that thing. I respect you. I appreciate you, and here's my perspective, and I think we can learn and grow from each other. And I mean, you know, some people will have different people will have different affinities and different effects on you. Each person is an experience, and there's not this notion that like the experiences merge, right? There's no strict lines between one thing and another. And so being around that person as they're having their journey is a lot like experiencing that for yourself, and those things that make that person so strong and so powerful. Like you're tied up in that, and there's a synergy there too. It's not just you anymore. There's you, them, and the combination thereof. There's a third body that transcends the first two. And in large groups of people, this can become just insanely powerful. It's basically consensus reality today is based on the way that we relate to each other and that we understand things. But I have a feeling I'm getting a little off track. Let's return to the point. The point is, who cares what anyone thinks? Let's fucking do some magic. What are we doing tonight, you might ask? I don't know. I didn't plan that far. Indeed, I did not. But I set up the whole deal, and I've been meaning to make this video for I guess like a year and a half, and I'm still not sure what it's going to be, but this is the start of it. And I'm excited to see where it goes. I am unfortunately going to be not in this beautiful temple for much longer. Let me show you around. This is my initiatory altar. I am a member of the Temple of Ascending Flame and a practitioner of draconian initiatory magic. So this is where that magic happens. And I've got kind of like a everything else happens here. The creative work, general sorcery, study. I love this crystal ball. This was given to me by a family member of mine who I discovered a couple of years ago is a longtime magical practitioner of decades. We just got to talking about William S. Burroughs at dinner, and we discovered each other's mutual affinity for magic, and became fast friends. Anyway, I went to see him after he had moved up to Chicago, and I told him about Catalyst, and he imparted on me this absolutely beautiful pedestal, which, according to him, formerly belonged to Robert Anton Wilson, and before that, the Thelema Temple in San Francisco, which is pretty freaking cool. So, thank you. Much thanks to Frater Mesmer, wherever you are. Shout outs to you. I will be returning to your abodes of the Midwest soon, and we're gonna do some magic with Frater. It's gonna be excellent. You'll probably meet him soon. So yes, the temple is going away, but I will have a magic kit and portable altar that I will have with me all the time in my car. It will be quite mobile post less than a week from now. It will be traveling, but mostly up in the Midwest. It's quite exciting. The start of new things, new life, new opportunities. It's a new phase. I just underwent a magical initiation, so things are kind of kicking off, trying to reset, clear out all of that old gunk. Little background. I talk about this in the blog, but magically, especially when I moved here, my mind was lucid. I was doing hour-long rituals every night. My discipline was great. I was studying. I was doing the work that I needed to be doing. I would often engage in long sessions of creative activity, and I felt as good, if not the best I've felt in my entire life. And my magic was working. And then as I got more and more settled here, and I started to meet people, and I got a job, and I became intermingled in a very intense romantic relationship. It was like all that energy and that focus that I built, it just kind of got scattered to the wind. And there's just like at this point, I've cleared out all of those things. But there's all this like kind of gunk, there's been this gunk left over that I need to clean up, residues of bad habits and emotions and wounds and old resentments and things like that. That kind of stuff that needs to be. So it's time for a change, time to go somewhere new, to start over, which is such a powerful thing, to be in a clean environment, and for me to be in an environment where I don't have so much stuff. I can fit everything that I have in my car. I'm light. I can pick up wherever I am and go. My time is my own. I'm not burning my hair. I think I came very close. I'm going to be having some fun magically coming up. As I mentioned, I am a practitioner of draconian magic, and my patron is Lucifer, with the whole enlighten humanity and bring magic back to the world, and pride and power and all of that. It fits pretty well. I was drunk saying I was the living incarnation of Lucifer after I'd been like doing blood sacrifice and everything. I was having a discussion with my friend about whether I had actually blacked out or I have lapses in memory due to entity possession. And it's actually we decided it was actually a valid line of questioning. There's no way to know whether it was one or the other. It's because of how fast the onset is, the reports of that happening, and apparently I was just in that zone the whole time. And I felt it before, I went in. So it was shit was going down. That was a wild night. But anyway, I just picked up this book, Temple of Ascending Flame, Rites of Lucifer, which we're gonna be hanging out with Lucifer for a while, and I'm very excited to see where that leads and deepen my relationship, and dive deeper into the Luciferian gnosis. The next project I'm doing is the Tree of Qliphoth. I'm getting oriented with the different shells of the dark tree. I like left-hand path. Like I have a very natural affinity for left-hand path magic and draconian magic in particular. There is something that just attracts me so strongly to it, and I think when you have the right intersection of power and purpose, you can meaningfully change the world. I've got a long way to go, but I'm going. We're just getting started. And I have droned on for way too long. So until next time, this has been Lux Occultus, and this is Lux's Temple.